Well, it's that wonderful time of year. You guessed it, it's Christmas. Wonderful, you say? It's crazy busy with special events and gatherings and shopping and cooking and wrapping. I'm not so sure how wonderful it is. Well, it's easy for us to lose focus on the reason for the season when we get caught up in the busyness of it all. So let me help you pause for just a few minutes and remind all of us why Christmas is in fact a wonderful time of year, and more importantly, why it is a miraculous time of year. Matthew 1 verse 23 says, "Behold, the virgin shall be with child and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel," which means God with us. God with us. You see, this is truly miraculous. I mean, think about this. God creates humans in his image with the intention of having a loving relationship with us. And just like Adam and Eve experienced as they walked and talked and hung out with him in the garden, but we know that they chose to go against the one boundary God set up for them, and what the Bible calls sin entered into the world, breaking our relationship with God. Now, if you were God, and you're not, but just imagine if you were, what would you do? Would you destroy what you created and start fresh? Would you abandon what you created and let them destroy themselves? Both are viable options. Or would you, being the creator, the all-powerful one, the one that simply spoke the world into being, would you choose to come after your creation, to woo them back into relationship? Would you even set aside your majesty and your power and your rights and choose to put skin on and become like your creation? Would you choose to humble yourself, to enter into a young girl's womb and be formed into a little baby and born in a stable of smelly animals? Would you choose to take on all that it means to be fully human with a body that's frail and live a life on this very earth that you created, all so that you could be with your creation? Well, I doubt any of us would, but God did. You see, that is the miracle of Christmas. God, our all-powerful creator, he comes to us to be with us. This is truly miraculous, and it's impossible to totally comprehend. God chose to be Emmanuel, God with us, so that he could win us back into a loving relationship with him. Wow, takes my breath away. So overwhelming that God would do this for us, our Emmanuel. Today, I simply want to remind you that we have a God that chose to come to us, to be our Emmanuel, because he loves us. Jesus is our Emmanuel. He's the only way that we can find this loving relationship with God. In fact, Philippians 2:6-8 says, describes what Jesus did. Though he was God, he did not think of equality with God as something to cling to. Instead, he gave up his divine privileges. He took the humble position of a slave and was born as a human being. And when he appeared in human form, he humbled himself in obedience to God and died a criminal's death on a cross. Our Emmanuel not only chose to come and be with us, but to die for us so that we could be brought back into a loving relationship with God. This season of the year can remind us more than anything that God made a way to be right here with us. This is truly the miracle of Christmas. So stop, pause, give thanks for this most precious gift, and more importantly, received the free gift of Emmanuel for yourself. Believe that God did this for you. Say thank you to Jesus for being your Emmanuel, and receive the forgiveness and the life that he offers you this Christmas. That is courageous living.